masters of adaptation, true survival artists. They get by on what nature provides. Seasons and the weather determine their everyday rhythm. They mostly live in barren landscapes of raw beauty, always in harmony with nature. Herders, the guardians of our earth. Their animals graze on a quarter of the Earth's land surface and feed millions of people, sustainably and organically. One of the oldest ways of life points the way to an ecological future. It's time to pay them tribute.
Right now, we're the lords of the Great Star.
Once a year, Master Shepherd Knut Kutschnik takes 200 black-headed sheep right through the middle of the German capital, Berlin. It's a demonstration that draws a lot of attention. At stake for him and his colleagues is nothing less than the preservation of herdsmanship.
Ich habe hier an der Stadtgrenze meine Schäferei.
I have a sheep farm here near the city limits, and I travelled here with a small troop of my sheep. I'm totally proud that colleagues from all over Germany are taking part. I think that during times when people collect signatures to protect insects, we should remember where life originates. It comes from the piles of dung from my sheep. It's not disgusting stuff, it's a conservation emission. I carry seeds into the Berlin Zoo. The Berlin Zoo's certainly got some fresh manure today.
Knut unceremoniously turns the park in front of Bellevue Palace into a sheep pasture. The palace is the residence of the President of Germany. The shepherds have come from all over Germany to draw attention to the herder's profession. They say politicians far too often forget about them.
Chica, chica.
The four-legged guests of state are an attraction. Knut Kutschnik lives in Altlandsberg, nearly an hour's drive east of Berlin. Here, in the state of Brandenburg, he has run a sheep farm for 20 years. It's early April, the time when sheep are shorn every year. Knut has hired professional sheep shearers. It's hard work. The men work up a sweat. Until German reunification, East German shepherds could still earn money by selling wool. Today, it's no longer worth it.
My wool merchant told me sales of wool are worse than last year. Last year we got 35 cents per kilo. It's not viable. Strictly speaking, the wool should be thrown away. There are no more wool combing works in Europe because the high environmental standards in our Western world have led all the wool combers to be outsourced to China. And China determines the price. And maybe I'll build a barn and insulate it with wool or something like that. I think throwing it out is a bit too sad. But the way I see it, the wool is the roof over my animals during the winter, and that's worth something.
Dass die Wolle ist das Dach meiner Tiere im Winter. Und das ist auch was wert.
Knut's passion is breeding. He regularly wins prizes with his animals.
What I need now are the really exceptional animals. They're long enough, they just have to grow a little wider. Last year you showed me that ram you'd got. He was long as a hayrack, eh?
Knut's heart and soul are in shepherding, and he is a source of support and information for many of his colleagues.
No precipitation at all. And we definitely have to post this letter on our website so I can tell everybody we did it. As far as I'm concerned, write open letter from the shepherds. We're totally desperate. I mean, things are okay at the moment. Next week, you'll see, everybody will be desperate. Okay then. See you later. Ciao, ciao.
Knut and his colleagues are afraid the summer might be dry. As the head of Brandenburg's Sheep Breeders Association, he lobbies wherever he can. As a professional shepherd, Knut must also be a manager. But he likes most to be outside with his animals. It's lambing season. For Knut, this means very little sleep and an enormous amount of work. Nearly 800 lambs will be welcomed to the world in the days to come.
She only has one. This is how sheep should behave. I can go to them and touch their bellies, and they don't mind. It's always the question, do I help them or not? It's always good if they can do it themselves. They actually can. This one is unruly. She won't lie down and push the little hussy. So, she's lying there, pushing and pressing. Always clear out the mouth. If you're there, life is much, much easier. Doesn't have to struggle to stay alive the minute it's born. I'll be here all night, and through tomorrow night, and then the night after that.
But German shepherds have not been able to make a living from selling lambs for a long time. Most herdsmen earn their money as conservators of the countryside.
Welcome to Germany, where the sun always shines. During the lambing season, I have lots of small herds in the nature reserve all around here, and I take care of biotopes exactly the way my biotope manager tells me to. This means I preserve an enormous variety of species and get paid for it. My main source of income is as a land conservationist. I'm a super gardener with sheep.
Shepherds in Germany receive money from the federal government, the states, and the EU. In return, they are meant to use their animals to maintain natural living spaces and protect the soil from erosion through wind and rain. But there is less and less space for the shepherds. Pasture land is disappearing, and driving routes are lost. An increasing amount of acreage is being farmed intensively. Many shepherds give up, and fewer young people are going into the profession. During the summer, Knut's 450 mother sheep and lambs graze on the green spaces all around Altlandsberg. He and biologist Hartmut Kretschmer also care for rare low-moor grasslands. Kretschmer was a department head at the State Environmental Agency for many years.
This is exactly what Knut does so well. The land here is mowed twice, the first time by the end of May, and then again in late fall. So the many butterflies that live here have a period of time between late May and mid-September when they can take care of their business.
The great burnet and the salad burnet thrive in the marshes and attract rare butterflies like the scarce large blue.
This is the best place for it, Knut. It's great. There have also been years when it wasn't so great. Your cultivation is making the great burnet better and better in this area. And of course that's fantastic because it's not only these dusky large blues that fly around here. 3 weeks ago, I had a scarce large blue too. The interesting thing is that the large blues only drink from the flowers of the great burnet. What's even crazier is their adaptation. They only lay their eggs in these flowers. The caterpillars then eat these blossoms here. And when they've reached a certain stage, they drop or crawl down. We don't know exactly, and they're carried by 2 different kinds of ants. One for the dusky large blues, and one for the scarce large blues into their nests. The caterpillars survive the winter in these ants' nests and are taken care of by the ants and produce a nice sweet juice. This is a very particular cocktail. You have to think of it like that, like they are special sweets, out of gratitude that the caterpillars provide the ants with this juice. The caterpillars are allowed to eat from the ants' brood. Amazing. The ants allow them to, and then the caterpillar pupates in the ant's nest, and now in July, the butterflies hatch again. They have to hurry to get out of the pupa, because if the ants catch them while they're pupating, they eat them. It's a crazy story. This species only exists here around Landsberg in Brandenburg, and then only down along the Black Elster on the border to Saxony. They no longer exist anywhere else in northern Germany.
Und sonst in Norddeutschland gar nicht mehr.
This is why the meadows where the large blues exist cannot be mown starting in early June, because they would no longer flower.
Knut's sheep graze here in the spring and fall. They keep the meadow open, free from bush or tree growth.
I'm incredibly grateful that I have Knut, because what would we nature conservationists do otherwise? We couldn't come here on weekends and mow everything by hand. That wouldn't work. We would have to look for someone to do it, and it's hard to find anyone who is able to manage things the way Knut does. This is the important thing, that these spaces are still managed like they were 200 years ago, without poisons or fertilizers. Yet they are also utilized in a certain way and used extensively. This utilization preserves the greatest biodiversity in Central European grasslands thanks to the herders.
Their method of land management leads shepherds to be known as the guardians of the environment. No other form of agriculture simultaneously uses and preserves nature while increasing biodiversity. In the course of his work, Knut also has to make unconventional decisions. Wild West in East Germany. His 18 water buffaloes need to be driven from one Colsarius fen to the next.
Faster! Faster!
He keeps this herd to graze on the emerging reeds and shrubs. The animals keep the ecologically valuable marshland open. For his service to nature, he receives money from the state of Brandenburg.
Down here, everything is swampy and full of water, and my water buffaloes are going to have a really good time.
In contrast with other cattle, water buffaloes cope well with the high water in the protected area. Despite their extreme weight, they're very good swimmers.
The idea behind it is to have a really high water level, to practically keep the marsh so that no carbon dioxide goes into the environment. Of course, a lot of animal species can't deal very well with high water, and the water buffalo is just the kind of animal that can.
Knut is a resourceful fellow. He realized a long time ago that he can only make ends meet with his shepherding business if he diversifies his portfolio.
These are my scudders. They're the smallest German sheep, and they're threatened with extinction. I got them to take care of the area beneath solar parks because my large sheep would destroy them. So this breed of sheep fits in with this field of land conservation. At the moment, though, I have 300 too few. I'm waiting for the rams to do their work, and I think next year or the year after that, I'll have a strong team. You can't buy the feed, such beautiful green grass as you find here. It's free. And here I'm on farmland. The farmer is totally happy that all the old grass is being eaten. In the spring, really beautiful fresh grass will come in again, and he can sell his hay as quality hay because it won't have any old grass from the previous year. So it's a win-win situation for all of us.
In the middle of the herd are two Great Pyrenees. They protect the sheep against wolves, which are once again native to Brandenburg. Knut has also bred livestock guardian dogs for 15 years.
It's really a funny thing for a shepherd in Germany. The idea that you need dogs to protect sheep. Nowhere in the world are there more wolves per square kilometre than here. In Brandenburg, we have 37 packs. That's about 350, 400 wolves. And every day there are attacks on smaller unprotected herds. The livestock keepers are really suffering. That's why we've chosen this path. Here in Brandenburg, we established a work group to breed livestock guardian dogs. It's now active throughout Germany. This is a central breeding examination office for dogs. They're being checked here.
46.5. This is Baloo. Good. Canine tooth is 8.7 millimeters. That's good. Show your teeth. It's pink. You're a pink piggy. Pink here, pink there, and your nose is pink too. Rims of eyes are good. So, sweetheart. Now Auntie will have a look. Okay. 33. Now we need your length. Right, okay. So he doesn't have to look in this direction. Just stand up, relax. His type, he is still young, a strong dog. He gets a 6. He'll still want to run when he gets old, since nothing hurts. That's what it's all about. All this evaluation is really about how long can you keep him healthy so he can work a long time. They want to work. They don't want to die somewhere in a kennel. They want to die among their sheep. For us, this is the decisive thing, that they have a good character, strong nerves, can deal with stress, like right now. Okay, come on, do something so we can hear and see you. Move, go along there. Move!
We provoke the dogs, bring them into new situations, and test whether they have inner strength. We make sure they're not warriors that want to attack, but that they're loyal to the herd and stay with it and protect it.
If there are enough dogs, this is true for Brandenburg and also Mecklenburg, the shepherds don't typically have just 1 or 2 dogs, but 4 or 5. And then they really tear into the intruders. And wolves have learned that. They know it's a stupid thing to try. If a wolf gets shot, others trickle in to take his place. It's better if he stays there. He knows how it goes. And like with the Kalbschmidt family, they needed 2 to 3 years to teach their wolves not to eat sheep. It's been quiet since then. About 7 years? Yes, right. No more trouble.
Other people just say, nah, I don't need to protect my sheep. We're just going to shoot the wolf. But unfortunately, it's protected under European law, a strictly protected species. Even if I wish for something to change, it's not going to happen. And the wolf causes a loss for us. We have everyday costs for the dogs, up to €2,500 per dog per year. It's like protection money to a gang of rockers.
The fall is the best time of the year for Knut. As one of the last wandering herdsmen in Germany, he moves through Brandenburg with his animals.
One of my happiest moments is when I leave my village here. All the people around me pressure me from spring until now. I'm like, I'm going out, wandering out where I'm free. I can move around. If I don't like it in one place, I move 20 kilometers further and I'm somewhere else. It's wonderful.
Although Knut's sheep are actually bred for meat and not for travelling, they're glad to take off with him. They're lured by the good fodder, but mostly by the freedom.
If you could only hear how the energy flows into me and my battery gets recharged, you'd grin from ear to ear. I'm on vacation right now.
Knut's helpers on his wanderings are Karl and Loki, his 2 old German herding dogs.
Without good dogs, without my buddies the dogs, I would never have managed this. And if my sheep hadn't trusted that I would provide them with this kind of rapeseed plant, I also would never have managed. It's a fantastic plant. The leaves are not the important part. There's a lot of energy up here in the knobs, and now that my sheep's bellies are really big with lambs, not so much food fits in. This stuff feeds my sheep perfectly right now. And the farmer is happy that I'm eating it, that he doesn't have to sheave it anymore or spray poison. My sheep are satisfied. Tomorrow their muscles will be a little sore, and the next day they'll be fine again.
Knut's sheep eat their way luxuriously through the new seeds. Due to the animals' so-called golden steps, the young plants can grow outward better and put down better roots.
We really are the good ones. The big problem is that we're anything but industrialized agriculture. We're the exact opposite of bigger, faster, more fatter. we're more like people who say we're the magicians. We care for nature, we preserve insects, and while we're doing it, we create a reasonable product. And my sheep follow me because they know that where I go, there's pasture, scratches, food, they're well fed. And this trust between my herd and me is something magical.
Das ist was Magisches.